Howdy, folks. Is Vile Mike here, and I thought I'd start off with a little bit of a history lesson.
Cool.
Okay. Oh, back in the early or late 1930s, there is this kind of bad man that we all associate with the badness.
Oh, you mean the guy's name was Adolf, right?
Something along those lines. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I give it his last name, but it was Adolf something.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll hit me later.
Yeah.
But one of the first things this bad man did, and when it came to media, was he outlawed negative speech about the platform that he supported. By platform, I mean his political platform. I mean, he would literally either pressure studios or media outlets to fire those people. Then later on, he would just start imposing fines and jail times on anyone who said anything against what he believed in.
And who was that?
I can't remember. But it was in the late 1930s.
Well, it was in one of the weird foreign countries. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why can't you say his name? I think that's fucking ridiculous.
Well, there's something called a fucking YouTube algorithm. Fuck YouTube algorithms.
You just can't call anyone. You can't really say anything is acting like that person or is equivalent to that person.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't
because they're trying to avoid
JD Vance then?
Sorry, that?
Why didn't they deplatform JD Vance then?
Well, because there's special rules attached to different types of peoples.
Oh,
I mean, we essentially have a class system.
You have such a great amount of freedom down there.
Oh, I know. Now, you want to continue about the media?
Have you seen
with that guy in Germany, I believe it was?
No, I think people got my point because
while
what's going on today isn't exactly the same thing. But what happened with Jimmy Kimmel, which happened to Stephen Colbert,
it's the beginning of it. That's how it always begins. Things happen, and then people are just like, "Oh, this isn't the same. This isn't the same." And then one day you wake up and you're like, "Oh my god, this is the exact same thing." It's like that's the problem. I know a lot of people are equating this Jimmy Kimmel thing. I've seen a lot of tweets and Facebook posts about how nobody cried out for Roseanne Barr and so like that. I don't. The problem is they're saying he said something about Charlie Kirk, and he didn't.
Mm-mm.
He said that the people and the government were using Charlie Kirk to push something.
Trump. He was criticizing
exactly.
Trump.
Exactly. That's the difference. It's like it wasn't a matter of using. I can't remember exactly what the tweet was about that Roseanne Barr did that time. Just kind of lose count of which one it was, or if it was the bad, national anthem or what. But the thing is also Jimmy Kimmel has not come out and he hasn't apologized, nor has he given an excuse for why he did it. I'm not saying he has to, but she came out almost immediately and said, "Oh, I was on Ambien and I didn't know what I was doing." It's like, listen, but I don't know if that's the same equation there.
Can I ask hang on? I want to ask the panel. I got to interrupt you, Chris. I want to ask the panel a question. Are you guys actually aware of the exact words Kimmel said, or are you guys doing the classic parrot? I'm curious.
I saw the clip.
I watched it.
I saw the clip. I didn't see the whole monologue, but what I saw didn't seem inflammatory to me. But what, of course, doesn't seem inflammatory to me might seem inflammatory to somebody else.
No.
Okay, because I asked that Dandelion, did you see the clip, the entire clip?
Yeah, I actually saw it before any of this blew up. because
Okay.
I often watch his monologue and stuff in the mornings, like while I'm eating
Yeah,
breakfast.
I watch it.
usually
I watch it
Yeah.
the next day on
Yeah,
YouTube.
that's what I do. I'm
usually
old.
watch the
I'm
late
old.
show monologues, some of the interviews if it's someone I'm interested in the morning while I'm having breakfast. That's like my morning
Same
thing.
here, Dandelion. Same here.
Mhm. So I actually
Okay.
saw it before the whole thing blew up, and I was like, he didn't
Yeah.
say anything. And actually, he had already made a statement, in support of how horrible what happened to Charlie Kirk was. He'd already, he was one of the first people to like speak out about against political violence.
Okay,
Yeah.
the reason why I asked that question is because when on my feed, all I'm seeing the day after happened was Kimmel made fun of Kirk, right? I'm like, okay, what happened? I didn't see Kimmel yet. I didn't watch his opening monologue. I watched the monologue. I'm like, wait a minute.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, there's nothing mocking it. The
Nope.
only thing he said was he said that Charlie was a MAGA supporter, or something along the lines of that.
Mhm.
And then he said he played a clip of Trump at the golf course. I mean, at the White House. And the reporter asked him how he's dealing with it, and Trump starts about we got bulldozers here, beautiful ballroom, this stuff. And Kimmel comes back, and the punchline was, "I see Trump is in his fourth stage of mourning, construction." Then all of a sudden, Trump is like, "You can't talk bad about me. Get the ratings, license poll." All of a sudden, it turned from the accusing Kirk of being a left wing, from accusing Kirk of being MAGA, to dissing Trump on late night. Now people are saying, I actually got the thing right here. They are trying to file the for the FCC thing, section 73.1217 of the Commissioner's Rules, called hoaxes, which means any programming accompanied by which foreseeable harm. Disclaimer clearly characterizes the program as
I
fiction.
get that, but
Yeah,
doesn't
they're trying
Fox
to do that.
constantly get away with lying by saying they're entertainment, not news? So
Yeah,
how
and
come
they
a
have-
comedy show
Yeah.
has to like give honest news? Can't they give? And I mean, and that was what they were doing. Even if there's no way of knowing for sure anything about this kid, because I mean, honestly, that text stream is as fucking questionable as shit.
Oh, that text stream was
his
text stream was
video
fake.
appearance.
That text stream was deemed fake.
Also, high
And also,
positive.
Why
Yeah,
would they? Yes, high positive. Why would they even release it? Like, doesn't that taint evidence to like release?
Yeah,
evidence?
it actually does change evidence, and I cannot believe what I'm
get off on. Basically, had them having like tainted ridicule.
thinking of a lot of shit. I mean, well, not a lot of shit, but I can't
also
believe the
there's
next 5
been,
words I'm going to say. I agree with Ted Cruz. He
well,
thought that.
Also, the video appearance that he made in like his court appearance, stations have been like doctoring it. They've been like altering when he does his little head nods, so they're not actually saying. Because apparently, on one station, he doesn't make any motion whatsoever until the end of the judge's statement, just to sort of say, I acknowledge your statement. But they've doctored it so that it looks like he nods right after they give the supposed reason why he did it, right? Like, and so it's like just slight, like it's like a 3 or 4 second time difference in when he did his thing. But it was like, what the hell?
I don't think I've seen that clip. I'll be honest with you. So I don't know. Like, can you explain to me, like, what does the judge actually say regarding why he did it? Or not the judge, but the prosecutor. Sorry.
Let me see if I can find the video. I watched it yesterday. I'll look for it, and then I'll go on a chat, and I'll see if I can find what I watched yesterday and give you the link so you can take a look at it.
What is the prosecutor actually saying? Because I
not
don't
the
know.
Prosecutor. This is just the judge reading out the like the charges and stuff like that.
Okay.
He doesn't make like the young lad doesn't make a young lad. I mean, he's 22, but still young lad in my word.
He's a kid.
Well, I would say young person or young lad works just as fine because Caddy's 21 and to me she's still like my baby girl.
Yeah. No, I get you there.
So
I'm just gonna look for the video I watched. I know I'll find it in my history pretty quick, I'm sure.
But because I'm still confused about the rhetoric being used. I still see some people arguing, about the leftist violence that this guy did. But I see other people saying that, no, he was actually far right. But, oh, no, his roommate was trans. Therefore, he was not far right enough.
There's the link to the video that I watched. I mean, it's a longish video. You might want to watch it later and take a look.
Yeah, I might watch it in between the streams. We'll see.
Yeah.
I had a roommate who's Republican. Doesn't mean I leaned right.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. The whole thing
know.
is. I mean,
I
there was
don't
another
understand.
one where they're like, "Well, where was the rifle? Right? Like, how did he manage to disassemble the rifle instantly?
I saw that.
Stuff it in a backpack, and then reassemble it and leave it in a towel in the woods."
I saw that video.
Like, I don't know shit about guns, but there was some guy disassembling a rifle, and it took him like over a minute.
I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about the actual events.
Yeah.
You would be surprised.
I'm not surprised about the conspiracy theories already springing up around it. I mean, the stuff around the Trump assassination attempt was amazing. Because I remember reading posts from Reddit where people were saying like this was actually a false flag event that was perpetrated by the CIA in order to martyr Trump without actually causing him to die. And just to boost his political numbers because he knows he's in the shit right now.
Well, he never ever mentions the person that shot him, which is weird because he would obsess with that.
Yeah,
he never even mentions that he got shot. Like the ear is obviously completely repaired. There was no.
How does he regrow cartilage in his ear, but he can't repair bone spurs?
Well, he mentions about him getting shot. Trump mentions that he gets shot all the time. I mean, hell, I mentioned that I've been shot multiple times, so it's not like it's something you say when it's happened to you. But you're right about the fact that he doesn't necessarily say who shot him. Whereas, of course, when I tell people that I've been shot, I immediately joke. My next joke is always, and both times it was by family members. Once by my brother, once by my cousin.
So, if you practice enough, like in the military, if we do it, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, barely. You're kind of low though.
That's okay. We can all be a little quiet today. Go ahead, Chris.
You're below. Yeah.
What?
Go ahead,
We
Chris.
can hear you. Go ahead.
I guess now we can't hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we can.
Hello. All right.
Okay, now we can hear you.
There you go. That's
Probably
better.
I think it's my cord. I'll have to change the
Tap
cord
your
out.
mic again.
Yeah, change your cord.
Well, I will here in a minute.
You gotta be.
So
You gotta be discorded. Okay.
yeah. So if you practice, you could probably get it down to what is called field stripping, which is about anywhere from, depending on type of gun, 15 to 45 seconds.
15 to 45 seconds.
Would it fit in that little backpack? And why would he reassemble it?
What was important was the gun that he used was one that was issued like a grandfather gun, which did not require serial numbers before Kennedy's assassination. That's the type of gun he had. That's why it was kind of hard to trace it and easy to dismantle. That's what the FBI said.
Oh, and don't forget, like in the military, especially Army and Marines, you're shooting a gun all the time.
Well,
okay.
What was this? Was the Charlie Kirk shooter military?
No,
Doesn't matter. If you watch online, you can get. If you watch online, you can learn how they break it down, and you can teach yourself.
I mean,
Trust me.
anybody.
I can tell you right
They've been
now.
sitting at home for months trying this out.
Because I can tell you, like from my personal experience, it would probably take me between 2 and 5 minutes to disassemble any of my ARs, and by any I mean the 2 that I have. I'm not proficient in it.
And I mean, even so, why would he reassemble it and leave it in the woods in a towel?
In it if you wanted to.
If he had it broke down enough to fit in a backpack, why would he have left it reassembled in the woods in a towel?
I mean, all you got to do, you could become proficient in something fairly quickly if you do it basically daily, or at least every other day to the least amount, you know. Whether it be shooting or anything, and whether you become an expert or not, all depends on, if you get, then you're talking about shooting targets actually, way down range, 100 yards, 200 yards, etc. Which is obviously what
I will say that
military.
some of the comments about the from the gun community were kind of I don't know, naive, because like one person was like, it was only 200 yards and he had this massive scope or this great scope that he was using, and I'm like, how often do you actually shoot at 200 yards to hit a target
Well,
6
yeah,
inches
if you
wide?
do it- Yeah, like I said, if he was doing it, and obviously he was doing it at least weekly, on a weekly basis at a range somewhere,
Yeah, but
then you're going
but
to
I mean,
keep up.
they were like saying what a shitty shot he must have been because he needed a scope like that. And I'm like, I'm sorry,
You
I
want
have
to
a
make you want to make
one of the ones
sure.
I have in
You know?
Texas is a 22. It's it's just for target shooting, but it has a 200 times scope on it, and that's because at 200 yards we used to shoot playing cards, and basically the joke that we used to do was we'd line up like 13 cards, and you'd shoot your hand
Well,
like poker.
yeah.
So you wanted it,
Honestly,
of course. The thing you wanted was a royal flush, so you'd always aim for those cards.
Base cards.
Yeah.
So
But
and yeah,
obviously,
it was about 200 yards, and yeah, we had these massive scopes in order to do it, and it was even if we were proficient, because I remember one time I was able to shoot the one eye of a one-eyed jack. Perfect. I said I was aiming for it, and I hit it at 200 yards.
All right.
yeah. Okay.
And I'm like,
Yeah. And yeah.
But-
and if you kept doing it every day, over and over and over again, it become second nature
but
to you.
but they were like still making fun of the guy for using a scope to hit something at 200 yards, and I'm like, that is just stupid. Of course, you're going to want to use a scope.
Yeah, you want to make sure you hit the freaking target. I mean, military.
Let me.
Obviously, you do not want to use a scope. A scope can
It
be
depends.
spotted.
It depends on the
depends on your
situation.
situation. Yeah,
And here's
But
the
a
thing that I.
can be spotted. That's all I was going to say about that.
Here's the thing: if you go to sniper school, you're taught scope, all that. Yes, 200 yards. It's kind of pointless. But my argument to all the people talking about, oh, why did he use a scope? Because he had in his mind a purpose, and he did not want to fail that purpose.
Right.
And
you wanna
and
make
I don't
sure.
care how good of a shot you are, things can happen. You may not be exactly what I mean, if anything, and this is going to sound really, really horrible, but I'm going to put it in terms of like a
they always
dog.
say-
Wait. I'm going to put this in terms of like animals. If you go in the backyard or if you go into your barn and you have a horse that's injured and you're going to put it down, you don't go and shoot it in the leg and then shoot it in the other leg and then go
Who
shoot it in
invited
the other
Christy
leg.
Gnome to the stream?
Yeah, no. But you don't do that. You go and you shoot it in the place where it is most likely to die quickly. If
Well, you
anything
always
you can
teach-
say about the guy is he wanted to kill him and be done.
Yeah,
Now,
well, they always
in
teach
your
you-
example, you also want to kill it so it's you're not making the animal suffer.
That's my point.
Well,
So I'm
yeah.
not saying
Well,
that he didn't mean to cause suffering, but he did want to make it a one shot and done. And
Right.
and when you do
you
that,
always
you
are
want to
taught-
be on target.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
nobody questioned why
Yeah.
Oswald used a scope. Come on, same thing. He wanted to get his target done. It's the same motivation.
And
Well,
Yes,
Oswald
and he was
Oswald was also
you're
like
always-
between 400 and 500 meters away or yards away.
370, 373, 75, something like that.
It
About
doesn't
400.
matter. He was a trained sniper.
And you're-
Yeah.
and that's the
and
thing.
you're,
I
and
mean,
you're always
yeah.
taught shoot center mass. That's what you're always taught. Shoot center mass.
At close
Aim for the
range.
well, in far range, you want to shoot at the center. That way, if the wind or whatever is going to be off of that center mass, maybe a hair, and that little bit can mean the difference between hitting something and not hitting something. But that's
And I
always
do
what they
want to
teach you.
make sure that's
you know?
quite clear. We're not aggrandizing. We're not celebrating
No.
Charlie Kirk's death at all. We're just talking about it in
Absolutely.
general.
Absolutely not.
What happened to Charlie Kirk, especially with his children and wife there, to me was one of the most heinous things you could do to somebody.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I am not pro gun violence, period, on this channel.
Nope. I'm in Canada,
So-
so I'm certainly not. I think y'all are crazy.
Yeah, we
Well,
got that
thank
right.
you. We are.
They-
Yes, I
Well,
resemble that
you know.
remark.
Yeah.
Yeah, according to the
you know.
psychiatrist in the last mental institution I escaped from, yeah,
Americans
And
and,
if
guns
you're actually right,
are-
I want to
are,
try to look into
yeah.
this, Elihu, when you said the gun was grandfathered in, because I wonder what impact that'll have, because a lot of the guns that I own, basically every gun that I own except for one was inherited from either my uncle or my father or my other uncle passing away.
Let me see
So
if I
the
can
only reason I
find that.
have them, and a lot of them are illegal to own. I can't even take them out of Texas because of federal laws.
Well, I have some of those that are down in my family cabin in southern Missouri, and I don't know what the rules are. I just know that they're pretty much off the record. I mean, and that's because, like you said, anything that's passed down per se, there's no record of it, and we didn't keep records on guns however long ago.
Oh yeah, and just
So-
to elaborate even further, some of these guns, and I'm not kidding, one of them is at least 200 years old. Another one is well over 100 years old. So it's not like they have serial
Somebody
numbers to
is,
track. Period.
maintaining those, or are you planning to never shoot them again?
One of them, the flintlock that I actually have, is in possession of my half sister's uncle on her side, so he's not related to me.
Hmm.
But he's maintaining it and he has it on display only
Okay.
because
Mike.
that one, as I said, is like 200 years old. It was not used in the Revolutionary War. It was used in the War of 1812,
Hmm.
ironically by the Canadians.
Nice.
Okay, Mike. Here it is. The Mauser rifle mentions that Tyler Robinson used, predating the 1968 serial number mandates post JFK assassination. Let's see. The ATF estimates about 3 million weapons exist in the U.S. It's kind of hard to trace. Basically, it's described as text as the grandpa's rifle, is decades old German-made gun used in both world wars and on the market years before laws created after the assassination of JFK.
And
That's
you're
what I found on
telling me the ATF or the FBI only estimates 3 million guns? Because I would say that there's got to be a lot more than that
That's what they're
For what?
estimating.
Yeah.
that are
Yeah,
pre-serialization.
Yeah, there's
3 million?
There's got to be.
No,
there's gotta
I would
be-
say that's probably a pretty decent.
I mean, guns weren't as prevalent then either. Like there wasn't as the population was lower.
No, your house
Yeah,
had a gun.
You're right about that, Danny Lay, and
Yeah.
I didn't think about that
Yeah.
because I'm like, even just me, I probably have between 4 and 5. I don't know exactly. I'd have to go on my laptop to check the serial numbers. Because yes,
Yeah,
I
Chris is
do
right.
keep track
Your
of that.
house had a gun for protection from people and wildlife.
Yeah.
It wasn't used
Well,
to sport and
yeah.
and threaten people with. No, it was used for protection for your family from intruders and wildlife. That's what the guns were used for back then.
Well, and
Yeah.
you did also
We
train
only
your
use them for wildlife, but
you
Well,
did
there's
also
also-
train your.
I mean,
You
the thing with self-defense here is it has to be equal. So the other person would have to be attacking you with a gun in order for you to shoot them.
You did also
your life-
have to have.
your life would have to be threatened.
Hold on, let Chris get his point across.
I was just gonna say it wasn't just people, wildlife, and stuff like that. you trained your kid, you trained your wife.
Yeah.
Everybody knew how to shoot that gun, and everybody knew that gun sat in the corner or wherever it was. There was a place for it. Everybody knew where the ammunition was, and everybody knew how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's another thing that's kind of gone past the days, is that we've gone from guns being in homes not being a big deal because everybody understood what it was there for. Everybody had been taught on it. People, don't use it until it's this or this, because also ammunition wasn't like just prevalent. You didn't have 50 boxes of the same ammunition in your cupboard.
No, people made it.
kept enough to protect yourself, because
Now, can you
hope
keep
to
your
do
ammunition with your firearm? Is there rules against that? Because I know here you have to keep your ammunition separate from your firearm.
Some states require
It
you to
depends.
have your ammunition locked up in a separate container than your actual handgun.
I mean,
And some states say you can
also
keep it.
have to be
You can keep
have
a
to
loaded
be
gun locked up.
and not in use here as well. So.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll give you the example. I don't know about the Texas laws, but in the storage unit in Texas, I've got the big Browning gun safe, which has most of the guns inside of it.
Mhm.
But the ammunition is stored in tactical boxes outside of the gun safe, because there wasn't enough room in the safe to keep the ammunition in there.
A lot of states you're allowed to keep ammunition, or not a lot, but there are quite a few states that allow you to keep ammunition in your gun, but you just can't have one in the barrel or ready to go. Though if you get stopped with it and you are doing something illegal, they'll absolutely use it against you as you were planning on firing a weapon. That happens every time. So you got to be careful. Now, of course, in a car, if you're going to carry a gun, you want it to be ready. But I would say that most of the people in like the state of Missouri that I know that carry guns in their car, the state, while not officially, but the people who give the safety classes and stuff basically tell people in the state of Missouri, keep the clip out and right by the gun. Know where it is, and learn, and just teach yourself how to quickly load it. That's their way of trying to say you can do this, but they'll tell you on the side, listen, if this is all for protection, just keep the clip in and be ready.
Well, I know, like for the shotgun I have here in California, it's a single shot shotgun. You put a shell in there, you close it up, it's ready to fire. I mean, there is no, once there's one in the barrel, there's only one in the barrel, period. It's a single shot. So, no, I do not keep one in there when it's in storage. But it is very satisfying when you hit that latch and you open it up and the shell just pops right out. But to go back to the main topic, because we got off on a huge tangent.
Yep.
I still don't know how I feel, because I really don't like this whole don't talk bad about Charlie Kirk no matter what.
Yeah, the mandated Soro seems a little much. I mean, he was a divisive individual. I thought he was a racist asshole. I don't celebrate his death. I think it's horrible. In fact, I think it's worse that he got shot, because it
martyrizes him.
It's allowed all this political nonsense to like proliferate, right? Like, I have trans friends, and then like demonizing trans people is beyond the pale. Like, ridiculous. Like, just ridiculous. The nonsense that's going on related to that. I know that's not the topic we're on, but just some of this politicization is absolutely ludicrous.
Well, I read today, and I'm sorry, I know you have a point you want to make, Chris, but I want to say, this whole thing that's happening in Arizona, this Charlie Kirk remembrance thing, where Trump and Vance are supposed to both be there. They have elevated this event to the amount of protection required to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know how much the federal government spends on average for the Super Bowl when it comes to, money spent on protection. But that just seems like, how do I put this? yes, we knew who Charlie Kirk was. I mean, before Charlie Kirk got shot, everyone on this panel knew who he was, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, my cousin, or at least two of my cousins who are very right-wing MAGA people, had no idea who Charlie Kirk was.
Yeah.
And he was on their side.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I totally can see that.
So, to me, the level of everything that's going on, I would say maybe 5% of the country knew who he was beforehand, and now everybody not only knows who he is, we're having this massive, level of state involvement in his memorial.
Yeah.
I would say it was more than 5%. I'd say probably, let's just say a quarter.
Well, I think the MAGA movement
And
was
then-
sort of like earmarked him for future presidential run. Like I've even heard rumors that if Trump got, if he gets whatever happens to him, the cankles weigh him down, or it becomes just too obvious that he's in mental decline or whatever. And JD Vance has to say that Charlie Kirk was going to be his vice, but I don't think that can be. He's not 35 yet, right? Don't you have to be 35? Because you can't be vice
Chris,
president.
you want to check that? You want to check that, Chris?
Qualified to be president.
Chris is checking it right now because I know it's 35 for president. Chris is checking
Well,
about
yeah,
VP.
but the thing is, you have to.
I know what you're saying,
to be
Daniel.
president if you are qualified to be.
No,
vice
no, there are ways around that, but you must be at least 35 by the time you take the oath of office to become vice president.
But like that movement had earmarked him for president.
I think that was maybe on the the lower levels of that movement would have thought that, but on the upper levels, anyone who knows how Charlie Kirk speaks in public when it comes to debates and how he riffs off other people in general,
and how when he actually comes up against somebody who's qualified for what they're saying, he gets
exactly
to him.
He's really good at prepared talking points, but if he ever has to be spontaneous or
like I don't think he would have been good. I don't think he would have been
well, the problem is
I think that was sort of like their idea.
All right,
the problem is that the problem is with his several things I want to get to here. First off, the martyr thing. I mean, I always take off of things like X-Files. They always say, why don't we just kill Mulder? And whoever's after him will always say, well, we don't want to make him a martyr for his cause. People, and that's what was, and I think that's the worst thing of this, is we've taken somebody who was a minor nuisance to people, and you've now made him a martyr. He is a solidified figure in history because of something stupid. He died for a cause he believed in, a cause that he said other people died, and that's just it. Sometimes it has to happen that way. And he's now one of those people, and now people are immortalizing him for that. But I think
Chris, have you read the?
Hold on.
It was about mortalizing him. I was going to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Have you read the Oklahoma state mandate?
I don't give a fuck about any state mandate.
They are mandating all colleges to have a Charlie Kirk memorial with a statue of him and his family at all college campuses.
Okay, fine, I guess. I mean, people are stupid. I mean,
yeah, that's why. Memorializing a racist. I'm like, what the fuck?
Here's the other thing. Finish your point, and I'm going to get on to something like you just said. So go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
The other thing I was going to say is this bullshit that, I mean, it's not just rights. It can be lefts at times. People who go so far as to think, 12 years down the line of who we are going to vote for president. I'm sorry. I hate this. Like, who's next? It's like people, this is what's stupid is we're just predetermining people off of nothing. And like you said, it's very obvious. The public speaking things I've seen of him, people posting things like there was a little girl who said, I'm a fiscal conservative girl, you're 11 years old. You don't even really understand that yet. You might be, but you could tell she was sent up there by her parents she may have some of that ideology in her head, and she may understand some of it. But she goes up there and says this thing, and of course, it's canned. I'm sorry. I honestly believe in most of the things I've seen when he has people come up and he's sitting underneath the tent and they're asking him questions. 90% of those questions sound like they were handed to that person on a card, memorized months earlier, and they've been handpicked to come in. It feels like a psychic's, convention, where okay, hey, you like you have people like all these people holding their hand up. They want to be talked to by the psychic, and
John
they pick that
Stewart.
one person. They put that one person over there, John Edwards, and he was
Edwards,
actually
thank you, sorry.
he was at my job last year. It was kind of funny, but I know somebody who knows him, and they really
Maybe not
do
Stewart.
believe he has some ability to that.
Oh my gosh.
Well, no. According to them, they've had moments where it didn't feel set up. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know about that, and I will never
Anytime I've
question
seen
the ability of that.
anytime I've seen like
But-
a fairly well-educated, knowledgeable person confront him, he just gets his ass handed to
And
him.
that's my point.
Oh yeah.
I
because
just
it's
wanted
not
to bring in here,
predetermined.
Positive has not had a real moment to make any comment whatsoever. Did you have anything particular you wanted to add to the conversation, Positive, since we've kind of,
I mean, yeah, I mean, we just all need to move on, if you ask me.
well, it's okay. I mean, if he was a third grader, he
Yeah.
already would have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, beating something to death over and over and arguing about it to death over and over isn't going to reverse things from what happened. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, just move on, and obviously, hey, it's going to happen again. Okay. The chances of it not happening again are about zero now. Because
Yeah.
now we are in this political violent world, basically, where, you spout off something on either side and somebody really, really, really disagrees with, and someone has that agenda and the means to do it, they're going to do it,
Yeah.
And you either accept that or you don't.
I don't know.
Well-
I'm just kind of still shocked about the reverence because, like, the whole comedian thing.
Yeah.
Before they said don't really make fun of President Trump because Trump doesn't like it, but that didn't really stop anybody.
hmm
But now it's don't make fun of Charlie Kirk and Trump together or anything, along that thing. And they're sticking to their, pardon to my pun, but sticking to their guns about if you're going to make fun of this particular death, we're going to come after you on a governmental level somehow.
Actually, Mike, I need to correct you. Trump is saying they're going after him personally, not just Charlie. They're going after him. They're talking negative about him. The license must be revoked. Unquote.
I know, but no one has ever really cared about that part. It's this Charlie Kirk aspect that they're seemingly caring about.
Yeah.
If every president in this country,
Chris, tap your mic.
Yeah, you're gone again. Can't hear you. Sorry.
You go to Radio Shack. Get a new cord.
Yeah. Yeah, we
That's
know.
what I used to do, man. I
He's
used to
been
do
having
that.
some
Like,
technical
damn it.
difficulties. He might have like a loose cable or something. Nope, still can't hear you.
I miss Radio Shack.
Well,
Still can't hear you.
I don't want to go too far off the political stuff on this
Hold on.
stream, but there is Hobby
Okay.
Town, which is essentially still owned by Radio Shack's original parent company.
yeah. Can
There
you
we
hear
go.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
now we can hear you.
I miss the days when presidents had balls and could just take it. I mean, we know he has thin skin because you see it every time they show his hand. But I mean, really, this guy has paper mache skin. It's like, dude, grow the fuck up. You're not going to please everybody. No, no president has. People talk shit on presidents all the time, no matter which one, which side.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fucking deal with it.
I know,
He's the
but-
only one who can't handle the fact that people don't like him. And it's like, you know what? You can't please everybody.
That
I'm
reminded me of what happened with the
complaining about-
Smothers Brothers and Johnson. They made fun of Johnson. They wrote President Johnson a letter saying, "Hey, it's comedy. We want to apologize. This offended you." Johnson's like, "It's satire. I found it funny. You did your job. You're comedians. You do what you're supposed to do. It's not my job to tell you to not talk about me." He loved the bit. They talk shit about him, but he loved the bit because, like, hey, you're comedians. This is what you guys do. Trump does not even agree with that part. Right, Chris? Sorry,
Yeah. No,
Kind of reminded me of that.
Well,
I mean,
I'll give you an example of something that was interesting if you want to go back in time for it, or if you go back and read the articles and stuff about it. Like, you guys remember FDR and polio? The fact that he couldn't walk was not necessarily mentioned a lot by the media.
yeah.
Yes.
That was something the media did because they wanted to respect him during the time, the wartime stuff.
One of my favorite lines from the American President with Michael Douglas in it is where he's sitting there talking to his second, his political advisor, whatever, Martin Sheen. And he said, you told me, he said it's something about, they're talking about him dating and, do you think we would have won my presidency if I wasn't a widow or if my wife hadn't died? And he says, you even said it yourself. If there were TV cameras around when FDR was in office, nobody would have voted him in. Nobody would have. They hid it every step of the way. He always had his legs covered with a blanket, or he was behind a desk, or he had braces on so he could stand. That's the thing. It was all political theater for freaking near 16 years.
But it was something the media also helped to perpetuate. But here's the difference, though. Was FDR still made fun of in newspapers? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Comics at the time made fun of some of his policies. They made fun of some of his not necessarily like his wartime leadership skills. They did make fun of that as well. What they didn't mock fun of was his health.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the things that is different today. We make fun of Trump's health, but it's also because he's one of the only president that seems to go out of his way to say, "Oh, I'm healthy
the
as
most
a horse."
healthy person in the world.
Yeah. Take off the shirt. It's your
Literally.
beautiful body.
I don't make fun of his
Barf.
health. I'm really concerned about his health.
As anybody should be.
Globe, I'm concerned about his health.
I'm concerned how am I going to celebrate?
No, you don't say stuff like that, Elihu. Seriously. Don't get me wrong. I might end up using his grave as a restroom.
Oh, whoa, wow. I wouldn't even do that. You know what? I would never take the time to go find it. I'm just saying, no, I'm being honest.
I know, I'm the same way. I just want to forget all about him ever existing.
And that's the bad thing, though.
I disagree with that sentiment as well. On a realistic,
I was
I was
other
making a
than,
joke.
we need to keep our eyes on the prize, or not let that sort of shit happen again. Well, but you.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
I have no
absolutely.
control.
But like I was making a joke about this, and even on your stream, Chris, I made a particularly bad Charlie Kirk joke on one of the games we played.
Yeah, I know.
But
but again, political satire is nothing new, and I'm not saying. I think you need to be classy about how you might approach the Charlie Kirk situation, because again, we are dealing with a man dying, and again, in front of his kids, his wife, all of that. That's a horrible thing, and also not to mention the fact that he was in front of a lot of people who personally cared about him.
Yep.
And that isn't something to celebrate. Unfortunately, we live in a world where those things do still happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, you need to understand it. I think the ridiculous side of it is immortalizing somebody for it. That wasn't anything. It's like we took, again, you took somebody that might have had 100 to 200, 300, 400,000 people that really knew and followed him, to millions of people now are on the train of, I was always there by Charlie Kirk. I was on his side. Da, 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 da. It's like, no, you're just blind, wearing your MAGA sleeping mask, and you're just blindly following a herd, and it's ridiculous. That's the ridiculous side of it.
But yeah,
Anyways.
just to go back to his wife and kids, only because to me, I'm still, and it happened at this point, over 20 years ago, but seeing somebody I even was just friends with getting shot in front of me fucked me up.
Mm-hmm.
To see the man you love and your father and that same thing, my heart literally bleeds for them. Because that is something that is going to probably fuck them up on a level that I can't imagine.
I think the worst part about it is at their age, being as young as they are, you're going to have people in the wings, possibly even their mom, unfortunately, who are going to start indoctrinating them to be the second coming of their father with a more vile message, a more demonstrative message, and a more violent message.
Possibly not, because wasn't Charlie Kirk all for women just getting their MRS and then staying home getting pregnant?
He has a son though, and if his wife follows that mantra, then it's her job now, because he is no longer there, and the people around that child, it's their job to indoctrinate them with that same theory. And now you add the fact that he saw his father shot in front of him. That's where you get the real radicals from.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
he,
look at Batman.
he had 2 daughters. How many kids did he have? How many kids did he
Yeah,
have?
One of each.
But his wife, if I remember correctly, one of the other things that said his wife is currently pregnant with their third.
Okay,
Oh.
that's what, yeah, it might be. And now she's in charge of Turning Point and all that. And I just think that, I don't know that's going to happen. I just know that's the danger that we're in right now, is that somebody's going to pull that kid aside, the son, and he'll be coddled and taken in and told he's got to keep his father's, message alive and all this stuff. And eventually, like I said, that's where you get some of these real, well, maybe not, but that's my worry, because that's something that's, how do we get the loons in the world? You get the loons because somebody feeds them and feeds something to them. If this kid gets 13 and 14, when you get through those things where you're really angry at the world because of you feel like you're singled out for this or that, if that ever happens to the kid, then he could turn that into, again, that's just my worry. I'm not saying it'll happen. I hope to God it doesn't. I hope the wife just leaves all this except for the charity. The charity. I think I'm okay with her running the charity, but I think she just needs to focus on that and probably ask her kids, don't ever get into the public eye.
I don't know. I've heard rumors she's planning to run for Senate. So,
oh yay, that's what we need. Another freaking that's the.
Chris, your mic is cutting out.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We can.
Yeah, my screens just went black, so that's probably what happened. I think the problem is that we're getting way too many people who aren't politicians. I know everybody says we don't need politicians in Washington. Yeah, you do, because they understand the process. You can't have people sitting there taking hours and hours and hours of government time, which is taxpayers' dollars, and arguing stupid points like Marjorie Taylor Greene. You can't. And don't get me wrong, there's some people on the left that I say the same thing about. But it's just, I want people to have some experience in politics and understand the processes. And unfortunately, we keep taking those people out.
Not treating politics like entertainment and a way to make money.
Because it's almost like the WWE now. It's getting very close to that, where I feel like I lose IQ points listening to any of them.
Yeah.
George Carlin was right. Every Congress member needs to wear jackets with their logos on it like NASCAR, so we know who pays them.
Yay. I see it now. Political sponsorship. Look, I'm sponsored by
That's basically what
STP,
you bought.
Trip, and
But Chris, that's what you
Facebook.
bought.
I know. Yeah,
Apple, yeah.
maybe that's what we should have. Who are you being paid by to come in here and argue for?
Well, you can't
AFT.
check who the donors are. Don't they have to like declare who the donors are? I mean, you can't-
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, but they should show you because nobody's going to really dig into it.
they're like,
I mean, it's
well,
like we all know Marjorie Taylor Greene has Trump tattooed on this as a tramp stamp on her back. I mean,
But okay, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and head off because we got 10 minutes before the next stream and I got to get stuff ready.
Sure.
all right.
All right, so
Okay.
later, folks.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Since this is Sonson the Funny Man, remember what Lenny